I'm Elisa Mortensen, and this is Undo Redo.
Hello to all my friends out there listening. I love so much when I get to come talk to you and share the things I've been thinking about and what I've been working on and read all about what you guys are up to. I'm really excited. I'm in a transition phase right now with businesses. I'm going from being a contractor to a full-time coach. And I'm noticing that I do really well with physical things. I can take an outdated cluttered, dirty space and turn it into something beautiful, an old piece of furniture, and repurpose it and give it new life, an uncared for yard, stained clothing or shoes, something that doesn't fit just quite right. I can alter it, something tangible, something that I can work on with my hands. So easily turn it around into something reimagined while keeping it frugal, least amount of effort possible, simple steps for the biggest impact. I'm really good at this, but I have the hardest time with technology. Getting everything connected, automated, running smoothly has not come easy for me. I've really had to go down some rabbit holes and teach myself and commit to sit at the computer and do it until I get it. I am noticing how many times I hear myself say, I must be fooling myself to think that I can even do this. I know I'm an amazing coach. I have been coached, studied coaches, listened to coaches, coached people myself. I know what is best to do, just like the products that I would use on the furniture. Some of them weren't long lasting, and you had to strip the wood down all the way to the base. Some of them you could put on top of the wood, but only if you prepped it right and the layers would stick. Now, I have found what sticks with coaching, and I have found what layers need to come off and what ones you can build on, and how when we need to go back to the beginning and make that foundation strong and then start new again. I'm really good at this. But the emails, videos, interactive calls, courses, invoicing, free content, paid services, blah, blah, blah. Tracking all of it has my mind all over the place. So I'm going to use this episode to take you along how I address this kind of talk. Because I bet you're hearing it too. Like, I must be fooling myself thinking I can do this. Who am I kidding? It's so common. No matter what we're doing in life, we have a dream. And our dreams come up with these questions. And one of the most common questions is, you really think you can do this? Who are you kidding? Am I fooling myself to think I can do this? Especially if there's an investment involved, a big time commitment or a money commitment, or maybe you have to reprioritize some things for a while and it feels really scary. And especially if you want something back out of it specific, a certain result for what you just put in, what you just invested. You may actually be really concerned if you're fooling yourself by thinking you can do something when you don't really know you can because you've never done it before. So, how could you know? Are you fooling yourself? So, how could you know? Are you fooling yourself? Let's talk about it. Do you know what you're capable of? It feels like I don't have enough information, or I don't quite know what to do, but it would be so cool to have. Like, who am I kidding? I know with me, I wonder, do I have a real grasp on reality here? Because I feel so scared that maybe I'm not understanding what's really reality. Like, it's okay for them to have it, but when it comes to me, I don't know. It can feel very scary if you think you are looking at reality and it's not accurate. It's a skewed version. If you are thinking, maybe I'm not understanding my real reality because I want to have something so much bigger than the actual reality of my life right now. One of them thinks, I want something more. And one of them is thinking, it's not possible for me to have more. Who am I kidding? For me, when I first started investing in my dream of connection and togetherness and deeper commitments to relationships, becoming so united that nobody felt divided, right? I was able to see I can be who I really am as a wife, mother, daughter, and still be loved. and they are able to be themselves, and I still love them. And I would for sure say that I wasn't in that reality. I was in a reality of my kids don't want to be around me. My husband and I were not connected like we are today. But my dream about this, my vision that I had, was one where we couldn't get enough of each other, my kids and I light up when I see you. And the same with my husband. It feels like we're close and we're confident in it. And nothing outside of us can get in between us. It feels like everyone belongs, and we're all engaged and interested in family being one of the top priorities, and supporting each other when we're off sync or having a falling out of some sort, and really gather around each other. I had to get a really large loan to invest in this for my family and those that I love the most, because they may never choose to be together if I don't change some things. I'm the leader. I get to decide the culture of my home and my family, and it felt really important to me that I learn how to do that right. I want everyone to be choosing to make memories together and have a full and emotionally rich life. And if I didn't dream first, then do the next step and put it in place to go get it for myself, there's really nothing that said that I would have a family like that played together and chose each other and wouldn't end in division and being divided or having falling outs. So when I had no money to invest in the loan, I sold things that I needed to. I took on odds and ends jobs and more jobs with my other business. I went and got that loan. I was scraping the bottom of the barrel, even though it already seemed to be, my thought was, I'm at the bottom, there's no more to scrape out of this barrel. So I was wondering at the time if I was fooling myself. Am I recklessly taking on debt, fooling myself that this version of my life and these dreams for how I wanted to lead a home and lead my business and lead a career and groups of people and get people to show up in the best way possible? Am I fooling myself that I could even do that? Is this possible for me? But what I told myself instead was, I don't want to live with the regret. I don't want to get to the end of my life and think I may have done something different and I could have succeeded, but I didn't try. I was willing to risk the amount of money and the amount of time and study and books and education and experience and learning to find out if I was capable and if it was possible for me. What am I capable of anyways? What are you capable of? Did you ever think about it? Like, could I be capable of more things? I could probably do that if I wanted to. I don't want to be sitting in wonder one day, not knowing if I could have came up with the money and done something a little different and a little better to change everything for myself and for everyone around me. An actual dream, an actual vision of mine coming true with togetherness and enjoyment and connection. While coaching a client, this sweet gal was really nervous to invest in something and not get what she wanted out of it. She wondered if using this money and the time and the course was over and went through the process, she was scared to find out that she wasn't capable of having what it was she was looking for. She said, what if I get to the end and I'm just fooling myself all along? And I asked her how that would feel. And she was crying. And she said, it feels terrible. It feels awful. But we noticed how she's already feeling terrible and awful right now today. So you can feel terrible and awful right now, plus have regrets if you don't try, if you don't do something and put some sort of a plan in place and some sort of a strategy to go get your dreams, to go get the people that you care for and oversee to engage with you and to cooperate with you and have more meaning in your life, instead of hitting up against resistance and power struggles and, them ghosting you and not showing up and not being a part of you and not choosing it. Regrets that we have of not being able to be capable of bringing people and lifting other people because we're feeling terrible and awful anyways, but we gave it all we had. into learning something new, into finding out if we are truly capable of lifting and bringing other people with us on a new and different, better journey, because we know that it can happen for somebody else, then it can happen for me. I think of people out there like athletes who spend their whole lives training for something and not winning that top spot they wanted. But if they went all in, they have no regrets. And somehow no regrets feels better than feeling terrible and awful with regrets on top of it. I personally would much rather have regrets with athleticism or something than with relationships. I value interactions and the enjoyment that comes from them so big. We're meant to have each other. We're meant to have a community. We're meant to lift each other. And when tear down and rupture happens, we're meant to repair that and keep going so we're even stronger. We're all living here together. We may as well enjoy it. Why not make it the best it could be instead of having always a constant strain, constant drain, power struggle, and these horrible resentments that we carry? Each of us has to make a decision. Are you fooling yourself? It's not that you're pulling one over on yourself. Like when we ask that question, it's not even a matter of having the capability or not. Am I pulling one over on myself, or am I capable or not? Because some may have a small amount of that ability, but even if you don't have the ability or the capability or anything, you can still learn it. It's just a skill. Either you're capable and you have some of it already and you're doing pretty good at it and you just need a boost, or you become capable and you make sure you learn it and you stick with it until you have it. Then the question becomes, are you willing to feel the discomfort of gaining the capability or not? Are you willing to keep going even when it seems like it's failing and everyone's arguing and nobody's listening and you just don't know how to lead a home or a career or business or get people to show up? You're just frustrated. Are you willing to keep going? Even if it seems like you're failing to get to the dream? What kind of cooperation do you want to have? And what does it take to develop the capability to get people to cooperate? To lift people into their own willingness to try new things and their own creativity, to have some fun, playful times, and to pull out the best in everyone, show them their talents, and really lead. I even wonder, with the dreams that I currently have, how do I continue to maintain my priorities in life and also be willing to try for new successes that I have been imagining for my own life? I always think to myself that the time's going to pass anyways, so I may as well be trying while the time is passing. In my case, a dream for peace with people and not as many contentious and draining relationships in my home or in my businesses really held my attention, because I found that relationally, I was really drained when I didn't do it right and when I didn't know how to do it. So I went looking for my answers. Once you decide to create a dream, now you have to find out, what's it going to cost? Next, you'll have some thoughts about, am I willing to feel the hardness of paying that price? Because it's pretty hard to pay a price for something that you really want. Am I willing to pay that price to develop into that person that has that dream or not? It's just a skill set. Like, it just needs practicing. You need to find out what it is and get some practice and be lined out. And like I said, I'm willing to go for it. So when I get to the end, I can find out. And I never, ever frame it as a total waste of time or money. Even if I don't get to my dream, even if I pay for something and I don't end up getting exactly what I wanted out of it, it's never a waste of time or money for me. It's really more peace of mind that I cared enough to go try. And it did give me some practice and it did give me something new, and I'm building on it. And then I go search for something else that gets me there as well. And I just keep going. I don't think the I couldn't do it and I couldn't get there is an inherent thing. I think it's more finding out that you don't want it or you don't want to pay the price for it. People find out they don't want the cost, or they do. But that being said, I have yet to see where there was any big regret going all in on something. Nobody says, I wish I didn't give it my all. Most regrets come when we do something and we're half in, or we start and it gets too hard and we quit. But if you go and you keep going, you will get there. Even if for some reason you fall short of it, you are still closer than you ever have been before. And having never tried didn't get you that far. It has major benefits. I think of weight loss or fitness challenges. We gain so much ground by doing something towards the goal, towards the dream, because perfection was never the destination anyways. It's good enough. It's not even possible to have things be perfect. Now, I want to say, for those of you who may say, maybe it's possible for me, but I am just not willing, I would really challenge that thought. I would question that thought over and over a lot, because I have seen it be so much harder to not go through what it takes to develop and what it takes to become capable, to be competent, have more tolerance, get some gains mentally and emotionally. It's so much harder to not be able and to not be capable, to not pull through, to not be able to adapt or connect bigger or do more than you've ever done. It's much harder to spin in shutdown, being unaware, if you're adding to or perpetuating problems. And you may be the reason a lot of people get stuck. It's much harder to be living in that space. For sure, it feels unfamiliar. I'm not saying it's going to feel amazing, but it's an easier life to operate from and to communicate from and to have relationships from 100% capability than it is to operate from feeling like, I don't know how to do this. I'm not capable. This is what I wanted most and I can't get there. I can't reach them. I fight every day to get them to do what I want, and I can't anymore. That experience of your everyday and the contrast between the two is very different. When you tell yourself you're not able to do what you really want to do in order to have what's most important to you, it's like there's a big exciting dream inside of you and you're snuffing it out. That kind of day-to-day living is so much worse than paying any amount of time or money and learning how to do something and getting over the hardship of learning it to get to something that lasts so long. That little bit of work and learning and stretch and growth and really kind of digging in for a longer lasting portion of your life being amazing is so worth it. There's a reason we have time and we can come up with money and we spend it the way we want to get the life that we want. I mean, we could go buy things. Things are so much less important to me than the relationships I have. Why have the things if you can't enjoy the people you're enjoying it with? The next thing is that you may not have the belief in this at all. You may have been conditioned to delete people from your life, give up on others if you can't have your way. Maybe you have grudges that go really deep and you're not willing to let them go. Your mind is used to all of that. And that's fine. We're not going to take any of that away. So don't feel like you're going to become a doormat. Like if I don't have this, then I get walked all over. I have to stand up for myself. All of that is fine. We're not going to take it away. But you may feel out of control and angry at them. Your mind can't make sense of what the process would be or what is expected of you to become more capable. Have less conflict or be less stressed or have less anxiety trying to manage others. You may be thinking, I'm fooling myself to think that I could try something that's this impossible. None of what you're afraid of in your interaction with the being upset that they're not doing it and constantly having to fight to get there, having people fall through, it's not an issue once you learn proper boundaries, how to see things clearly, how to point out reality, know where they end and you begin. what is yours to manage and what is theirs, and giving clear accountability. When you have healthy and helpful ways to contain them in what you need done most, it protects everyone involved in much bigger and better ways. It protects you, it protects them, it protects the system and the rules and the policies and the culture that we want to have. It feels so much more safe and secure because that is what you learn. You learn how to keep the safety and security, and that doesn't feel upsetting. When I'm guiding you, we go through 3 things that you can do, which are accepting it, changing it, or leaving it. And they're all done with very thought out and deliberate action, not in a frenzy of emotion, not because you're sick of it and you're done and you want to yell and then go home and shut down or kick the dog and yell at the cat. I teach you how to monitor and ensure your well-being and have the best case scenario possible. You won't have to do anything that doesn't feel like you. You don't default to being pushed around because now you're so easygoing and fun-loving. It ups the game. Connection is what always got better behavior out of everyone, not control. So when we drop the control, which is where the fear is, which is where the anger is, and we maintain connection, connection rises and lifts people. They want to do it because they love the vision of it. They've been told clearly. They can see and they're vested in it and they choose it. One of the things I think is really important when you're thinking of making an investment, no matter what kind of investment, is, are you thinking, I don't believe I can do this at all? And the person who tries to sell you on something is very convincing and you buy it because you believe that that person can do it for you, like they'll make it happen for you. I'm going to pay this person and they're going to make it happen for me. They do the work. I get the results without too much effort. I think it's a bad risk and a bad investment. You be the one doing the work and decide, this is what is helping me get it for myself. I'm going to use this and invest time and money in this because this will get me capable of having that culture, that dream, that peace in relationships, and that support and direction and guidance. I will be willing to do everything that's required. You don't go all the way to the grand prize and think, I'm going to pay someone and I'm going to get this thing like a transaction. You have to believe, I'm going to invest time and money in learning this thing. And there's going to be small steps that I'm going to have to do that builds the belief, that builds with a strategy, that feels like it's broken down into tiny enough pieces. It's too simple not to do. I'm going to get there because these steps are really short. There's lots of them, but they're not big, grandiose steps. I'm not going to burn out. How can you meet yourself with where you are right now in your current ability? We're all able to do something at this point in our lives. How can you meet yourself where you are at currently with what you're able to do, and also see that there are many small steps that you can do to build on what you already have? Maybe you're fooling yourself with holding on to too much perfectionism. Our control could still be a big part of this picture. Am I being honest with myself? Am I listening to myself? Like, is that us trying to have too much control over, if it's not perfect, then I'm not going to start? The most responsible place to be is where you own your decisions around your investments. Let's make it happen without someone else doing it for you. The idea of having this dream come to be part of your day-to-day life is so fun to think about. And there's lots of little tangible steps in the process where you make sure that it happens for you. That's what keeps you moving forward and growing into the capability, are the small, little, simple processes. That's the determining factor. The little doable things. So if it's so doable, it's less about, am I fooling myself? And more about, am I choosing to do this or not? When we root ourselves in reality and we don't get sucked into some alternate version, when we want to be the one that is capable, we decide to develop it. How I know I'm not fooling myself is by tracking my progress. I pay attention to how things used to freak me out and they don't anymore. And I see one little moment at a time that I did better than I did last time. I would just decide to move forward and become so capable that I don't live with regrets and that I keep growing instead of staying stagnant, and have progress and bring people with me, everyone who's around me. Even if I didn't get what I wanted exactly, because none of us can be perfect, and that's part of the control we're letting go of, I come really close to it, and that is good enough. I become the best version that I can and do the best that I can, and that ceiling keeps getting higher. It's actually infinite. I never hit the top. You never hit the top. So, are you fooling yourself? Ask yourself that question. And if you really don't think you're capable and you really don't want to do it, question that. Because anything is possible. And if it was the tiniest little steps and you couldn't not do it because it was so simple and tiny, if it was broken down so little, it would feel almost effortless. That's what I promise. All right. So, to this week, are you fooling yourself? Think about it. Question it. And come see me if you want any of these results for your relationships and in your life. I'll talk to you soon.